Hi all, so we've looked at how to crop an image and also how to add and edit text. Now what we're going to do is essentially look at how we're going to add effects. So you might have seen, if you've been following the tutorials, that I have a new canvas on board. It's not a single image. I thought this would be the easiest to try the different effects out. So I've already pre-added my images into my gallery, and we can look here. So I have this fascination with nature, so I figured let's get some of my nature pictures out, and I'm going to literally just add them in here haphazardly just to get them into the blocks. Okay, now this is where you're going to see, okay, image resolution low, image resolution low, image resolution low. Now, this is obviously because I've just taken them a few of my really low-res images from Instagram, and I haven't thought about it correctly. But I'm not too worried about it now. I'm not actually going to print them, so I don't want you to be worried about that either. I just want us to be able to see what can be done with the actual effects. So, first things first, let us just do cropping. So make sure that you've selected the image you want to crop, and let's play around with it. So I like that right there. Okay, now obviously I have quite a large white border around that, but for the purposes of this tutorial I'm not too worried about that. Let's click on this one. I'm going to click on my cropping tool again, and I kind of like this image just there. Click on the next one, use my crop tool, and here, just want to pull it in so I get a full idea of that. Over there, click on the middle one, and I want to focus predominantly on the middle, and then click on the last one and use the crop tool as well. Okay, so this clearly isn't the best type to show you with all these different colors and the layout, but I do think that this is going to be the greatest canvas to show you the abilities that the DIY editor can offer you. So if I'm still selecting this blue one over here and I click it and I choose an effect, so I find here in the inspector the effect and I click choose, you can see that I'm able to choose various ones. So let's just say, for instance, I want sepia because this has a very muted tone and I want to offset the two on either side. So let's click sepia and I press save, and you'll see it's actually going to desaturate the color. You can also change the border color on that particular image. At the moment it's sitting like that. For instance, if I wanted it red, I could click save. You're not really going to see it because it's so thin unless I extend it, and there you can see that red. That's obviously if you want to do something very colorful. I'm not too worried about that now. The main thing here is the sepia. You can also look at the opacity, so making it lighter, and like I said here, that might work nicely in order to offset those two images, and just to take away from all the different colors that are sort of showing on this canvas at the precise moment. So let's click this middle one and see some of the other effects that we have to offer. So we click choose. Okay, grayscale, obvious, it just makes it gray, but let me show you what that looks like. Okay, just turns it gray. You can obviously play with it here. I can go back to choose and I can actually turn it off, so when I look at it again it goes away. Let's click on equalize to show you what that looks like. Okay, and you can see it makes it incredibly bright. Essentially this is your lo-fi option in Instagram. Really pulls out the colors and really brings out the sort of depth of those colors. Okay, let's go back. We cut out equalize. Sometimes depending on the image you can't really see the changes, but let's have a look at sharpen. Okay, here sharpen, you can see it's basically pulling in the different colors, and because it's such a low res image, you can see that low res sort of being emphasized, so to speak. Okay, flip is also interesting. You remember what it looked like. If I click flip, it's essentially going to push the image from the other way around. This is great, especially if you have an image that you want a mirror image of. Okay, and blur will essentially just soften everything. And this works quite nicely, especially if you're very close up of a face and you want to hide imperfections. It's definitely a way that designers like to hide imperfections, is just to do a soft blur. So those are some of the effects, and yeah, well, they kind of make life a little bit easier and a little more exciting. As you can see, there's that nice bright color. Let's click this one now, do the same thing, hit equalize. You can see the vibrance of these images and these colors as well. Let's click on the bottom one and also hit equalize, and you can just see the vibrant colors offset by these muted ones in the right and the left hand corner. So those are essentially our effects, and as you can see, very easy to use. It's simply a matter of clicking on your image and choosing the effect. So I hope that helps you along with your designs, and I look forward to seeing some of them in the future. So happy designing.